Warning, this video and all other videos on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The content of this video and all other videos on this channel are the opinions of the creator only and do not constitute legal, trading, investment, or financial advice of any kind. Investing carries a high level of risk and the majority of retail clients lose money. Do not invest any capital unless you understand the risks and you are prepared to lose it all.
Hello everyone, Camel here with a JISA update. So if you haven't seen the first JISA thing, I'll put a little card up here into the playlist, or you can go to the playlist section of the YouTube channel and check out JISA episode number 1. It's pretty simple. I recently became a dad. I have funded a junior ISA, which is basically like a stocks and shares account for my son, and we're gonna put some money in there and try to trade him publicly into a trust fund baby. So if you want to follow along and watch me turn my son into one of the richest babies in the country, then hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified every time I post a new video to the JISA series. If you don't know who I am or what my background is, then you can go and watch any other videos, or indeed, I think I introduced myself and what I do for a living in the first episode of the JISA series. Now, at the time, I was lining up this TLT trade. I was thinking, yeah, if it comes to me, then, you know, we'll buy the dip. We still probably will do that. It's just taking a little bit of time, and I'm kind of conscious that we're getting towards the end of the year now, and I haven't made a single trade. So what I've done is added a semiconductor ETF. I'll show you this. And the thesis is the thing is going to run for the next month or two, and then we'll flip it for a profit, and that'll be the first trade down. Of course, it could go down. Okay, so by no means should you copy me. Okay, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So into the end of the year, I expect these semis that are just breaking out now and leaving behind a cycle low to push higher. If you're not a trader and you don't know what any of this means, then you know, you have to go and do some studying. For everyone else, it's as simple as that, okay? I think this is going to lead. I think it's going to be amongst the leaders into the end of the year and possibly Q1 next year. And I think we should be able to get some upside here. So I'll flip over to the JISA screen now. Okay, so hopefully what you should be able to see right here is that we've already funded this account with 9k, and in the UK you can put 9k a year into there. So I might refund it again in the next tax year with another 9k. I don't really think we're going to need any more cash than that, to be honest. I think we'll be able to flip this thing relatively easy with that kind of size, I would think. If it becomes difficult, I mean, obviously it's going to be slower at first because it's a smaller account, but it shouldn't take too long, I don't think. So anyway, if I click this and open it up, you can see that today I bought a little over 2 grand's worth of this semiconductors ETF. The little extra bit we've got here, okay, is interest paid on the cash that's been in there. So that 26 quid is from interest in holding the cash in the account. And you can see we're currently at about £2.5 of loss, but that is really just the spread, okay? The difference between the buy and the sell price, that's all that is. So there you go, okay? First trade done. I've sized it deliberately at about 2k because that means, if I flip back to the other screen, it means if we're to draw down somewhere in the neighborhood of 8%, maybe even 10%, I will stand to lose around £200 if I was to cut the trade 10% lower in the worst case scenario. And if I go over here and do some maths, if I lose £200 out of a total of 9,000 account size, you'll see that I'll be losing approximately 2% on this trade, right? So long as I don't allow this loss, assuming it's going to be a loss, to exceed a 10% drawdown in the price, okay, as long as I can be out the trade somewhere around where the bottom of this long position is here, then I only actually have about 2% account risk here in the worst case scenario. So the idea is, if this is a losing trade, we'll cut it and we'll take a 2% loss on the chin and we'll move on to the next one. And if it continues to push, then fine. We'll follow the trend and sell it hopefully higher up for a profit. And of course, when I sell it, I'll update you guys. And I'll also update you guys as soon as I have some other trade set up. Whilst we're here, since I know a lot of people have been lining this up, here's the TLT look. It still hasn't pulled down into a low. I know a lot of people are saying, why didn't you buy the cycle lows on the way up? But frankly, this is range bound since all the way back here, right? It's pretty much net sideways in here. And in the other accounts and in the member section on the main channel and stuff, we've been making way more gains than all of this stuff in here. Like, I'm not interested in nickel and diamond in here really at the moment. We've been having our focus in other places and we've been doing way better. So I'm just kind of taking my time here. If this thing pulls down, which I think it will in the not too distant future, then we'll buy the dip and tuck some of that away for the long term. I may also try and add some individual stocks at some point if I can see some opportunity to do that. The market's closed today for Thanksgiving anyway. And as it turns out, much to my surprise, for a junior ISA in the UK, I have to fill out, what's it called, a weight ben, right? W8-BEN, which is a form that basically just says, I don't live or work in the United States and therefore I won't have to pay tax on any of the United States stocks to the US government, right? Because I live in the UK and I'm a UK investor. Normally you can just fill these forms out in 10 seconds online, okay? But for some reason with a junior ISA, they want me to print the form, physically print it, send it off with a wet signature, all right? So yeah, I don't know, more and more hurdles. I guess like I'm still learning about this whole parenthood stuff. But I'll get that done, and then once we've done that, I'll probably make another JISA update, and we'll add a couple of stocks in here probably. Okay, assuming the setup's good. Okay, I only want quality, and we see if we can't squeeze a few more gains out of this. So I will update when there's something to say here, but as you can see, you know, it's not like we're missing out on anything really, is it, in the scheme of things? And I think if you think you missed out, then you probably shouldn't be investing because you probably don't know what you're doing. So that's that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure if you want to follow along, you hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and this should be the first step to making my son into a trust fund baby. So until next time, all the best from me. Cheers. Bye.